Couch Talk. I'm your host, Uncle AK. I'm here with these lovely ladies. Like I said, popular demand, man. We shot the man's Couch Talk a couple weeks back. Got lots and lots of great review from it. A lot of women wanted to see this, so here we are. I'm gonna let the ladies introduce themselves, starting with the beautiful Maneh from my left. Take it.
My name is Maneh, full name Maneh Ndoping, and I go by Maneh.
My name is Nancy Konjo.
My name is Mah.
My name is Ebot.
My name is Nhimba.
Hey, everybody's just giving first name. They don't want to give last name. Don't worry, we'll still find you guys.
Okay.
We'll still find you guys. Guys, don't worry, I got you. But anyways, let's start here, right? A lot of women been, talking about the man's episode. Shout out to Charles, shout out to Aziz, shout out to Suki, shout out to Bertrand, and shout out to Barack. I applaud him for coming on, expressing himself. It's something that most men shy away these days. I mean, everybody got something to say behind the camera, but once you come in front of the camera, you can't speak. It's okay though. I used to be like that, but not anymore. So we're gonna start with the sliding in the DM topic. Social media love and sliding in the DMs. As a woman, right? What is your issue with a guy sliding your DMs? Well, first off, are you guys opposed to sliding DMs?
No.
Okay, so what are the negative connotations associated with that? Like, most women always say, yo, guys come into our DMs and they be talking trash or they don't know how to slide in DMs. What's the proper way of sliding in a DM?
I don't think there's a proper way. It's just people have different things that float your boat. Like if you come and you make me laugh, I'll be like, okay. I respond and the conversation keeps going and it flows. But if you come and you're kind of dry, I'll be like, man. I respond, then your response is iffy. I'm like, no, that's okay. So I think it's just a thing of chance. If it works, it works. It doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Is that right? I mean, everybody's leaning towards the answer, or somebody gonna do it?
Yeah, I think it's more of the approach, how you do it. Because if you come in and if you address somebody based on your physical appearance,
exactly,
to me it's shallow. But if you come in just to have a conversation and then keep it going, well, I'm not on social media like that. The only social media thing I have is Instagram, and I'm almost not really on there. But if I go there and the conversation is about a physical appearance, I'm just gonna say, okay, thank you, and that's it. But if you're trying to engage in the conversation, I'm inclined to, keeping the conversation going. So it all depends on how you do it.
What if that's my tagline? Oh, you're pretty, and you'd be like, oh, thank you.
Then what follows next? Yes.
So the issue is, does the guy follow up that? Is that your issue? Or?
It's how you follow it up. Because if you say something about a physical appearance, I say thank you, and that's it. So it depends on what comes next.
I see.
And saying you're pretty is good enough. I think I feel like there's a proper way. When you say, hey, sexy, what's that?
That's a turn off.
You're sexy.
No.
What's the problem? What's the beef?
No.
It also depends on who's doing it now.
Okay.
The guy's fine.
No, yeah,
I don't care about, let me not say I don't care about your look, because that's I'm not real right there. But the hey sexy is a turn off. Hey, you're beautiful, that's proper to me. It will make me want to talk to you. But when hey sexy or your lips are like this, what's that?
So pretty much you're saying we should go back to grammar school and learn how to talk and all whatnot.
I mean, that's basic.
Just approach it a different way.
Yeah, there's no correct way
Yeah.
to slide in the DM. Just do whatever feels natural to you. If it connects with the person you're talking to, great. If it doesn't, keep it moving. I don't think it's that serious. I don't think it's that deep.
So would you guys slide a guy's DM?
No.
Yeah.
Why would you and why would you not? Let's start with you.
I mean, because when I slide, I hate this term, sliding in someone's DM, does not necessarily mean that I'm doing it because I I'm hoping or aspiring to be with you or anything. But if I see that you're a good-looking person, I'm gonna tell you. It's not that deep. If you have good music, if you have cool art, it's just hey, your artwork is dope. It's not even with the intention of trying to pursue anything. But it's okay to compliment people. Like, I don't.
Yeah, complimenting, yeah, but I don't think that's like sliding.
Sliding.
Sliding is like you're shooting your shot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shooting your shot. I mean, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with that either. If you feel so inclined, do it. I mean, I don't see a problem with it.
I know people like it's worked out for them. I'm shy. That's why I probably wouldn't. But there's some people I know, and I'm like, yo, I probably should. One of these days. So it just depends. I mean, I would. I think I would.
Like shoot your shot and
Wow.
surprise.
Yeah, it's 2019.
And then if someone
is.
says no, like, okay, that's it.
That's
That's
it.
cool. Keep it moving.
What's the worst that can happen?
Wow.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's people, huh?
I don't know if I should put my take to this. I mean, if your girl slides in my DM, come on now. You know, I just click on her photo, you know, scroll a little bit.
Exactly.
If she's, you know, I come back, I'm like, auntie, to come out. But nah, I feel like, you said 2019. I just came out with Texas. I asked this question, and a whole lot of girls in the room like, yeah, I slid in the guy's DM a couple times. Nothing wrong with that. It's 2019. What's this issue with 2019? What about 2019 is so spoken of these days?
I guess it's just a way of saying it's a new year.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Times have changed. People are walking into their own. Women don't have to like sit behind the scenes and wait for people to come to them. You can go for what you want to. Like, that's all it is.
Being that, you know, you say, you know, times have changed and all that. Shout out to my guy, good guy, Master Yen. Master Yen sent this question, right?
Oh,
He
Lord.
said,
I know it's gonna be something crazy.
Oh, you Lord.
he said, well, since we're in 2019 and things, and times have changed, things are changing. Why can't a woman pay a bride price?
Eh?
That's a
You just said bride price.
Are you the
That's-
bride?
Exactly.
Well, okay, let's say groom price. Let's say groom price.
I mean, in India they do it. That's their culture, though.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
culture
yeah.
thing.
It's
It's not called.
It's not a trending thing.
Yeah.
It's not a trending thing?
No.
Okay, better question, and this was a follow-up to his question. He said, being that we're in 2019 still, bride prices are very expensive, right? So how about we just, you know, keep that money and, you know, spend it on both of us? We spend it on
Like I say, it's a culture thing. In my culture, I don't know the details of it, but it's not that expensive.
Exactly.
So I said it's a culture thing, and you could talk it out with whoever you're going to marry and see how that goes. I don't really think that it has to change nationally for it to be different.
What happened?
Are y'all paying for dinner?
Are
It
we-
depends.
Are we paying for lunch or
Yeah.
dinner? Yeah,
I mean,
why
there's nothing
not?
wrong with that.
Oh, you mean on a date?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not on the
Oh.
first date.
Yeah.
No,
Why
first
not?
date, no.
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 Who's courting who?
Thank you.
It's 2019.
I mean,
right?
That's different.
Right, it's 2019.
Okay, hold on.
If I slid it-
On that point,
see?
if I'm pursuing you,
Right, if I slid in your DMs,
if I ask
okay.
for your number, okay.
the first date.
What?
Exactly.
Would not happen.
Exactly.
But
Doesn't it
if
make
I
y'all
did
feel-
the initiation,
Then you are
Then
doing
I
one
should
thing.
pay.
Okay, so we all agreeing that if you slide in my DMs, and
that's between you
ask
and the
me out,
person.
then you should pay.
No, you have your agreement with the
You
person.
say you don't slide in DMs, now you become.
It's okay.
You
It's
become the-
okay.
I think if
You
I
become
feel
the
like
man.
if I told
Wait,
you
don't
let's
hunter
go on
You become the hunter.
first date, then I should pay.
Pay. But if you tell me let's go on a
On a
date,
date,
then
yeah.
the expectation is you
You
pay.
pay.
Okay.
Especially on the first date.
Like
So-
I went on a date yesterday and he asked me to go. This guy. With,
Hey.
It wasn't me.
No name calling.
So, the bill came, right? And you know, like obviously I'm just trying to be proper and because I have my own money too.
Yeah.
So I'm being proper and being like, okay, you know, I'll put my card down as well and whatever. Homeboy did not even object.
Which, so it was your fault.
Not necessarily, but then it's
Why
just
did you
being
reject
proper
that?
because because also I don't really know the person that well, right?
But they
He
initiated
asked
the
you
date,
on
right?
He initiated the date.
Sis.
Sis.
But most times when I do that with most people, they're like, no. Like they'll move my card, they'll do whatever. He was just like,
What were you
No,
trying to do?
eventually
You're trying to
they're
impress
Of
him?
course, you initiated.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like,
Of
oh.
course.
Yeah.
Of course, but
so
I mean,
I
after
can't
that,
really blame him
just
for
like,
that. Like,
Nah,
you
no,
put
but
your-
No, but I'll
that's
still
a
blame
trash
him.
I hope you
move.
have
I mean, it's
That's
just,
a-
but you.
nah.
I'm not
Always
saying.
blocked.
I'm not saying
He's
it's
been
right.
blocked.
So,
I would not blame him. I'm not
Immediately
saying
I
it's
left,
right.
I was like,
don't blame me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
he's
hold on.
blocked.
Maybe you know somebody stole his card the day before.
So why did he cancel
Then
the
he
date?
did that.
Don't go on the date.
Cancel the date.
You didn't want to disappoint her.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'd
man.
rather you disappoint
That was
me.
disappointing.
That
was
is
disappointing.
that was just such a turn on. Now he's blocked.
Okay.
Now he's blocked.
Let's come back to reality. Right? We have a lot of our parents, and y'all speak. Y'all just said tradition, right? And some parents won't allow their kids to marry. Let's say we all Cameroonians. Our parents would not allow us to marry a South African or a white person, a Caucasian person, or Muslim. So, cross-cultural marriages. Would you? Would you? Are you for it? Are you against it?
I'm not for it. Just because that culture difference is real.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's hard.
Yeah, because
It's
just
so hard.
within cultures,
It's-
relationship is
it's
hard
tough.
enough.
Yeah.
Imagine
Then-
just being Cameroonian. There's difference between Southwest and Northwest.
Northwest.
Dealing with that and Northwest. Imagine bringing somebody that's a whole different country.
Yeah.
I ain't got time.
I mean,
I mean, I'm open to the idea, but I don't know if I'm gonna follow through with it.
I mean,
It's
I was
hard.
I was in interracial relationship for 3 years, interracial, intercultural, interreligious, all that. So yeah, I can definitely vouch and say that it's a lot harder, and it's definitely. I mean, relationships are already hard as it is. So I definitely recommend you being with someone like-minded.
Yeah.
Of the same culture, but I don't think that should limit you. Like where you find love is where you find love.
Very true.
And I don't think things like that should stop you from finding love where you find it, especially as Black women. Like it's already hard dating, so I don't think we should limit ourselves any more than what we need to. But it's definitely easier to stick within your culture for
Very
sure.
much so.
Yeah.
For sure.
You gotta learn how to cook different foods.
Bro.
So you guys are saying, if a Nigerian man comes and wants to marry you, it's a yes, it's a no.
It's a no.
It's based on him. It's based on him. I mean, end of the day, he's still African. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria is close to Cameroon, so it's not like gonna be anything too crazy. But it's something to consider. But it's not gonna stop me. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's Nigerian. I'm not gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Still speaking on marriages, right? We see a trend of I don't know if it's a trend, but we have a lot of young couples these days. Couples, not married couples, but couples that date. You know, go for 4, 5, 6 years of dating, or let me say in a relationship. And after having several conversations with my fellow women, they say, "Guy, if you pass 3 years, you haven't put ring on it.
You said 3 years.
3 years.
If you pass 3 years, you haven't put ring on it. This relationship is cancelled."
Facts.
Demolished.
Why? Like,
Null and void.
what rule? Like, is there a rule book
I
to
think
this?
somebody else go first. I have a lot to say. Somebody else go first.
I think you have to communicate because, like, if you both feel you're ready to get married after like a year, then why not? But there's no particular rule like it has to be 3 years or 4 years or whatever. And I feel like sometimes I personally don't mind getting married in like a year. If I think that's the person and he thinks I'm the person, then yeah, that's fine. But if you're not sure, then if you want to waste time, go ahead and date a little bit and see if that's the person for you. But I feel like like when you're dating, you kind of know what you really want, and then when you meet that person, maybe like a few months, you realize, that won't work with some of my core beliefs, or that won't work with what I like. So it's like, I don't think it should take that long.
And I think depending on the age.
Mhm.
Yeah. Bro, I'm 27.
Mhm.
What you talking about?
Street was.
Waiting what? That was like 15. Oh yeah, 7 years is nothing.
7 years is nothing.
Oh,
But
you're doing when you were 21.
I was trying to find myself. I wanted a career. I, had to go to school and all of that. So, yeah.
You have more time to.
I'm somewhat settled.
Yeah, wiggle room.
So now that you found yourself, right? And I'm not saying that you do rush them, like the guys, but now that you found yourself, do you think that you're dating would you give that same person that opportunity to find themselves to as you found yourself?
Then we should not be together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
find
a
yourself.
person, not in a relationship. You don't get into a relationship
To find yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not to say you're not still learning while you're together. You're not still growing. But at least just being content with where you are at that point in time. You need someone who's on that same level so that they're not holding you stagnant.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be growing with someone. You don't want to be waiting for them to catch up to you. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the move.
And vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa.
I'm curious, right? As a woman, let's just say, this is just, I'm just speaking in the air right now. Let's just say all of you here, you have 5 friends each. 5 friends. You have 5 friends, you have 5, you have 5, you have 5. And 4 of them are married, except you. Is that like something that, as a woman, you process in your mind? Let's just say you still struggle in relationships with your friends that are all married and stuff like. What impact does that have on you?
Initially,
Your body looks hurt.
initially there's that external pressure, like your clique or your crew are all married and you're not. But I think each person is on a different journey in life.
Very true.
And there are people who wanted to get married in their 20s. There are people who feel like I will not know much about myself until I'm 23, 24, 25. So I don't want to get into this thing when I don't even know what I want for myself. So you get to a place where it may feel like you haven't achieved, but then if you realize that you are on your own journey, that shouldn't be so much of an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I see it.
I think that's a mature point of view, because realistically speaking, not many of my friends are married though, but I think I would feel some type of way, and not necessarily because I'm not happy for them, but it's just because our activities would then vary.
Yes.
You're close to people and you're used to doing certain things come like the weekend, or you want to have a trip, but then they have to talk to their husband or they have kids on the way, and it's just like, man.
But I think it's the kind of, because almost all my friends are married, so I don't feel that way. Like, I go to their houses, we do everything, we travel together and things like that. I think it depends on the people or the person. Yes, there's that external, pressure. Like, I want my own boo, but as Maneh said, and really, it's your journey. It's your journey, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. Good take, guys. I'll clap for that one. But anyways, prenups and finances. So first up,
I would need some drink for that.
would any of you sign a prenup? If a guy, like the man you about to marry says, yo babe, I need you to sign this prenup. How would you feel? Would you sign it? Would you not? Why not? Why would you?
I would not. Because what's the point of marriage? If I look at what being Christian, the two shall become one. If I sign a prenup, means what is mine, what is his, means what are we building? So why am I signing a prenup?
It also puts that stipulation like we might not work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I want you to
Yes.
sign a prenup. No, for better for worse, we're together.
We're
And how much are
building
you making
something.
that you want me to sign a prenup?
Exactly. And
Like, you got to be making like millions
yeah, that's
before you
something
can
to
ask me.
consider,
If
yeah.
me and you are making 100 and 150,
even if it's millions, at the end of the day, you're building something. Prenup means to me, it's separation. So what's the point of the marriage? I will not. I feel like it's like telling me, hey, I'll divorce you.
It's like it's over before it's even beginning.
Yeah.
But I mean, if both people want to sign, if both are on the same page and they're both coming in with their own financial security and their own, own successes, and they want to, just want to play it safe, I respect it. Preferably I wouldn't, but I understand when two people are making a certain lot of money and they want to just want to play it safe because they know they're both bringing something to the relationship. I respect it, but preferably I wouldn't. Yeah. But I understand why.
So you all making $1 million a month.
Amen.
Your boyfriend or your fiance, quote unquote, not boyfriend.
Even though that's a month.
Your boyfriend is making $100,000 a month, right?
right.
And you guys about to get married. You said for better or for worse, right?
Correct.
You will not sign a prenup. Okay, let me make this interesting. Let's say there's a history of this guy cheating on you.
I would not be getting married.
But you really love this guy. Hold on.
You lost me.
Okay, hold on.
cheated.
No, he cheated you once before.
But he loves
right?
you. Nah,
But
he loves
but
me.
you forgive
Contradicts
him.
himself.
No.
People,
Damn, it's
people
just
are
that.
fallible.
No, it's done.
People are fallible, so
Yeah,
It
but
cheated on me once. I would get married. Are you mad?
people are fallible. You can make that same mistake.
My dear,
So if a man cheats on you once, it's done.
it's finished.
Well, I love
Period.
that. But
Second
people are
chance.
fallible.
Because if I cheat on him, will he stay?
they can handle it.
Yeah.
He will.
Double
Finished.
standard.
Finished.
But so wait, did he help me achieve this million, or he met me when I was already making millions? Some of his money might be in my millions. I might be a millionaire just because it's our business, or it's a business that my name is on. Then I
Is the
understand.
cheating thing? Because if he hasn't cheated, then okay. But if he
Right.
cheated,
I
it's still
think,
my
I
money.
think people sign, people change when there's a breakup. So I think that fear of it is making people sign the prenup. Like, but again, as a Christian woman, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just telling me this thing is not gonna work. Means I don't have any form of trust.
Yeah.
So why am I getting into something that I don't trust you? This is me. Let me take the chance, and
As
you
a
just.
Christian woman, you're walking away from half.
You know what? Let me trust you, and you play me.
Okay.
Let me trust you, and you play me. God is gonna take care of that.
I like this one.
Okay.
Okay. I can't wait to hear the comments. But anyways, finances, right? Is it okay for you to make more than your husband?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
That's
these
what
days.
I do want to do.
Absolutely. Now, how I treat you, that's a totally different thing. That how people treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I treat you well, and you don't even feel like I make more than you, then
That's okay.
So we've all heard guys say, I'm not comfortable with my lady making more than me. How does that make you women feel?
You're foolish. Why not?
Yeah.
If anything, she's contributing to your wealth. Like,
Exactly.
you guys are growing wealth together. She's benefiting your life. Like, how does that make you uncomfortable?
I think part of it is ego.
Ego, obviously. Yeah.
men and their egos.
Yeah.
The
Leave our
ungodly
egos
ego.
We'll keep it to.
It gets in your way. It gets in the way.
Yeah.
So
What if the woman has a big head in this situation?
That's why I
And
said
that's
that it
the
depends on
problem.
how she
Leave her
treats him.
alone.
Then
If
leave
you
her.
can't
She's not the
tolerate
one
that,
for you.
Yeah.
Then you need to leave.
Like who she is different from what she makes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you cannot handle the fact that she makes more than you, and you cannot handle the fact that she treats you a certain way,
Yeah.
leave her alone.
He doesn't have to handle the fact that she's treating him a certain way because she makes more than him. You have to respect and submit regardless.
Yes.
But once
I
your
mean,
head
that's
gets
how I
big,
see it.
yeah, once your head gets big and you're just like, well, I make more than you, go wash the dishes. Well, I'm not cooking today.
That's
that
wrong.
becomes a problem.
That's wrong. And you're
Yeah.
still a single woman.
Should he still be the head of the household?
He remains the head of the household
He's the head.
regardless.
It's not
Regardless.
He is.
So
Does he
it's-
still pay the bills though?
Yeah,
We will pay
we're
the
taken
bills.
care of.
We'll pay the bills together.
I'm making more than you. That's just it. It's probably like what, 10,000 more, even if it's 50,000
$1,000
more. It doesn't
He's the
matter.
head.
Whatever he could do with his 100,000, I could do with my 120.
And I think
Exactly.
it's
That's just
more
what it
than
is.
money, though.
Well, me, I'm saying
I
it.
really think it's
Oh,
more than
me, I'm
money.
saying it's bad. I need you to intro.
We'll drive the
Okay,
car
come on.
We're driving together.
Drive together.
We are one.
We are.
That
It's
division-
unfortunate that God put you in a bigger space than me. What's my
Probably it's
complaint?
fortunate.
my
It's fortunate.
Maybe
Obtain favor.
Yeah, you obtain favor. Maybe I can handle money better than you do. So I mean, it doesn't matter.
I'm just not co-signing that Range Rover though. So I'll drive it on the weekends.
But now, so we all against prenups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm 50. It's 50-50 for me.
Yeah, I didn't say
Then we gonna send.
What's your thought on prenups? I mean, if you said something, didn't catch it.
anything. I forgot.
So. Well,
I don't know, because I'm putting, with everything I do, I try and put myself in the other person's shoes. So when you said, if I was making that kind of money, and to be honest, wouldn't necessarily put out a prenup, but I would put some stipulations on what's happening with my money and the case that we split up. Because things do happen. Well, not necessarily prenup. Maybe I'll put it like towards my kids, like in a fund
That's
for
smart.
my kids
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
smart.
But
That's
I won't
really
necessarily
intelligent.
put it out as a prenup. Because
Yeah.
I think that's, even to the other person, it's a little discouraging.
Yeah.
But I would try and do something with my money. So if he wanted to like you know, we'll have to talk about it as well. He can't just be like, oh, I need you to sign this. I'm like, what's that? Like, why?
No.
So we'll talk about it, and then afterwards, you know, decide what we want to do. If that doesn't work, we can decide to go our separate ways, whatever. But I can understand why someone would want someone to sign.
Sign a prenup.
Yeah.
All right. Next topic. This is
Why are you looking at me?
this is I'm just looking. I'm looking left, right. I'm not particularly up.
That was
Joint bank accounts. Would you or would you not joint bank accounts with your husband? If you're
I
married?
would, with a separate
With a
account.
separate
Yeah,
one.
I would.
What's this separate part?
Like you have your separate.
You guys just said
You can
two
have
becomes
both.
one.
You can have both.
Yes, you can have both.
There's nothing wrong with having both.
Hold up.
Okay.
This is what you said. Two becomes one.
Yes.
So why can we put everything in one, being that we are one? Why should we now start separating things?
The fact that you two should become one does not mean you shouldn't
Use
your own.
wisdom.
You have to use wisdom. Because if I go, for example, let me give an example. So if I have a separate bank account, I can buy what I want with without my husband asking questions. Like, because the reality is that you will not understand why I'm spending $200 buying makeup, and I may not understand why you're buying shoes for $600. I feel like the joint bank account is for things that are vital, like bills and things like that. And then I feel like I should have my own little something to take care of myself and treat myself.
it allows for individuality.
Exactly.
Like men's clothing doesn't compare to like if I go into the joint account and I see that you bought a shoe for like $600, I will not understand that you really, really like that shoe.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at $600. So the joint bank account is the joint.
Yeah.
But even though you are together as one, there is still some individuality which the separate bank account does not
Exactly.
work.
Right.
And another thing also culturally, you know, we Africans, well, I'm very specific, we take care of external family members, and your husband does not know that auntie in the village that needs $50, and maybe you're allocated that money for something specific. So if I have my separate, I can help that person. Not saying that I will not seek my husband's permission on certain things, but there's certain things that he will not understand just because he's human, he's fallible. He'll be like, why this auntie every time $50? So I want to be able to do that without, you know, bringing any form of confusion or argument or, you know, so I feel like it's very important to have your own personal account.
I'll see you, Lance.
No, I definitely agree. As long as you guys have a set percentage or whatever that you agree that's being allotted to that joint account, and it's being, you know, allocated there every couple weeks or every month or whatever, then please stop your own money.
So we have one joint account.
Mm-hmm.
The woman has her own account,
Correct.
and I have my own account.
Perfect.
That's d'accord. We all
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Even make it four, like, because I had this conversation with like my choir members, like you have a joint savings, joint checkings, then separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is good too, yeah.
We could make it 5.
What's the fifth one? What's the fifth one?
For the kids' tuition.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, the savings could go towards that, but
Yeah.
you can make it 6 if you want.
Okay. I'm curious. You know, since we're talking money, and most of us here are not. Is there any married person here? Okay, since we are very young, and your minds are very sharp, you want to be married someday in church, tradition, whichever your dreams are. How much do you think will be the right budget for your wedding?
Can I be honest?
I'm not big
Please,
on wedding, the whole feast part of it.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a budget.
So
If I can just walk to the court and sign in and go to the church and the
Right.
priest, that's it, I'm good.
If I could just do a traditional
But if I
wedding,
happen that the man,
I'll be
the man
so
or the
happy.
family wants that whole shebang, then we all gonna have to figure it out.
sis, aunties
Yeah,
about to
come-
donate.
well, it's,
Yeah, that's what's a community project. That's what's gonna be.
it's beautiful to, you know, have a wedding.
Yeah.
But the truth is, when I'm thinking about my student loan and my car note, no, I'm not gonna spend $45,000 paying for one day for people to eat, and then they'll even criticize my wedding.
Don't
No.
call me after.
Let's just go sign the thing. Use that money to invest or pay off our debts.
Yep.
Honestly. So to me, it's just like,
Let's do simple. Let's do a
Yeah.
traditional wedding. Call it a day.
yeah.
Somebody's sitting over there really thinking. Are you thinking about the amount?
Like, I'm about to pay $85 per year.
It depends. I mean, you have to analyze your own financial situation and see where you are as a couple.
Yeah.
If you guys have the finances, well, yeah, blue. But if you don't, then yeah, think wisely about your finances. Do what works for you.
Yeah.
If you can only afford a traditional whatever just do that. Call it a day. Small gathering with just friends and family, and it's meaningful. Like it doesn't diminish the beauty in your wedding. Yeah. But if you have the money, spend it. If you don't,
some people go out and take loans just to get married.
It should not be that deep.
So they can go on Bella Niger.
Yeah. Oh,
so this is not that deep.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
It's not.
It's really not.
It shouldn't be.
Seriously, it shouldn't be.
DJ.
The thing when you go
DJ,
back,
how much is it to play at the wedding?
It's like $2,000.
It's deep.
You see what I'm saying?
So like, why go through all that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the money, I'm not saying
If you have the money,
do weddings, or, do what you want to do. But for me, I'm not gonna have a wedding. Well, it's not on your thumb. My husband is rich. Anyway, I would choose not to, so that I can take care of what is most important to me. Yeah.
Nhimba, what you think?
I mean, it depends.
You think about that 20.
I want my wedding.
I'm gonna take that loan.
I'm taking that loan.
No, I wouldn't take a loan, but I really do want a pre-wedding. I do. And then also, like, I come from a family where, like my cousin's getting married in December, and he just wanted, like, something small and stuff, and they're just not letting him be. Like, they're even like, we will put the money. Okay?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's a
So-
different. That's a different situation.
No,
You put the money out, I will shut the
But
fuck up.
then, but then at some point, you also, as a man, that's also pressure, because you can't just let people marry you off. You know, so now, so right now he also kind of feels like, oh my gosh, this is pressure. So even when I'm telling him, like, just ignore them and just leave it, he's like, it's not as easy as you think it is. But I really would like a wedding that's like out there.
Why don't you give me that money to invest?
And that's what I was telling them. I'm like, you know,
I don't know.
Something.
Something.
Like
you're already.
I gotta
What
ask
if you already
this.
have all that?
People are paying $85 a head
Yeah.
to come to your wedding.
For one day.
That's like 300 people.
You
Do the math.
My wedding gown.
That's just food.
Like 300
And it's life after the wedding.
Right.
Yeah.
I can go and leave.
No,
No,
I
I need to be comfortable. I want my glass of wine every day.
I don't think.
I want to be comfortable.
I've just written down all of your names. Let me come and see you when you're ready to get married.
No,
Keep
I'm
the same energy.
No, this is the
I mean,
thing.
you're not listening. What I'm saying is,
The guys are watching.
If I end up having a wedding, chances are I didn't take out the loan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And chances are I'm probably paid off my school loan
Yes.
or whatever that.
Something
Or it's a
like
community
that.
project. Like
Yeah.
this auntie gave these, this
Yeah.
uncle gave these, and all of that. I'm not blowing any
I'm
hundreds of
dropping
dollars
those
on
racks,
it.
I think you have to be wise ultimately.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
I personally would try and make sure that I do have some money for a wedding. So whatever kind of wedding I want, whatever much it costs, I will do my best to have a wedding.
Because I've seen people who have done beautiful weddings and struggled
Afterwards,
that.
which
And I
makes
don't
no
want to do
sense.
that.
It doesn't make sense.
Why? So.
Okay, going back to the whole bank account thing, right? I just have one question, real quick. Would you want your husband to have the password to your account and vice versa? Yes, no?
With my personal account?
I mean,
Yes.
other than the joint bank account, right? Your personal account. Would you want to know how much is in your husband's personal account and vice versa?
I want to know how much is in his.
See, Tiff. Oh, more.
See, like,
I don't think that I would care
think you just
if
ask
the
me and I'll
joint
tell you.
account
Yeah.
is.
just ask and I will tell you. I don't
Yeah.
think you need
You
to
should
be
be able to
skirting
be
around
honest
my
about
password.
it.
Right.
But you don't need the password.
You don't need the password. Just be like, babe, how much is in there?
He just wants the password. Ain't no stupid.
But why
Why do
you
you want
need
the
a
password
Why
for?
do people want his
So,
I don't want his.
password?
why would you want to know how
You
much
want
is
the
in?
password to his phone, though.
Why would you
You-
want to know how much?
Not
That's how I
necessarily
thought.
because I want to know how much is there. I'd probably just want to like.
what he's buying?
Curious
No.
about spending
It
habits.
wasn't
What
just-
he's buying for girls?
I mean, he hasn't even out what I spent from his.
I like something.
See what he said? I try to ignore it. I try to ignore it. See,
Now my brain is going.
no. We have a joint bank
I need the
account.
password. I need the password.
Wait, what did he say?
He said that so you don't see the type of the amount of
buying
loops.
for another girl.
Yeah, the loops is buying for other girls. You see what you just?
No,
my
what's
God.
that?
I wasn't even
negative
thinking about
vibes.
that, but now my brain.
We're looking for. No, I don't think. No.
Look at that.
No, what do you
even
mean by
if-
reality? That's
What is
not my reality.
So the
That's not
reality
my
is that he's buying people stuff.
No, the reality is
I mean,
that,
even if he's
Or
doing
he's
it,
spending at the strip club.
how are you gonna know?
that's why you need. That's why
Because he can withdraw the money and still
No,
buy
I
it.
don't have a
my
problem with the
that's-
strip club, but if you're buying something for another babe, we have a
You wouldn't be able to
That
tell
is
from his
not
bank
my
account
reality.
though.
It shows his transaction history.
But he can do it cash unless he buys it online.
Exactly.
So he can do a cash withdrawal and pay for it cash.
Exactly.
I don't have time for that. See,
So I don't even think
that's
about it.
work. Hey, I didn't even think that far.
Okay, so what should happen?
Yeah, I got my-
Okay, when I know
So
that he's
if I
buying
did-
shoes for the other lady, so what should happen?
Pray on
Oh
it.
yeah, what do you mean?
Spend that way, buy
I'm treating myself now. I don't want that stress.
You don't want
Yeah.
to know.
I don't
I
want
don't
that
I
want to
don't
know.
think I want to.
That's what
You
I'm
don't
not
want to know.
I'm not going through your phone because I don't
Because
want
it's
to know.
gonna make
I'm
me
not
wanna
going
know more.
I don't want
You
to
guys are
know.
lying.
It's
My
gonna
parents
make
don't
me
Listen, what you
wanna-
don't know will not kill
kill
you.
you. I don't want to
To
die.
a certain extent, that's not true. I will not agree with that.
So you want to know who he's
No,
texting?
No, I don't want to
Somebody's buying
know, but I won't go
something
looking
for
for it.
No, yeah, don't go looking
Don't
for
go
it.
looking
Are
for
you
it.
serious?
Like I'm not delivering that to like.
Why not?
Please
Why?
search for that trouvé.
Why?
You asleep.
Why you look for you?
Why don't you want to know if your husband is buying something for another?
Let me
woman?
ask
I mean,
you- let me
eventually
present
it's gonna
the
get
question
to
you.
you.
Mhm, please.
Why do you want to know?
What do you mean you're cheating?
Okay, so what's gonna happen after that then?
The relationship is over.
Okay, good. I don't want my own to be.
I don't want high blood. I don't want high blood. Wow. I want to wake up in the morning just knowing that me and my husband are good for the rest of. I'm not looking.
Okay.
Well, what
now
I feel is eventually it's gonna
So-
catch up.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna go looking for it, but if you keep doing it, it's gonna
Eventually,
catch up.
That's
how I see
different.
it.
That's different. But going.
So you
But
want to wait till the
deliberately-
girl has gotten pregnant and has the baby,
I
and then you
know.
find out.
But what are you gonna
When
do?
you could have caught it when he
earlier?
was buying the shoes.
Okay, what if he's not buying the shoes and he's not buying the bag and
No,
he's
no,
still
no,
getting
I
to get
need it.
pregnant?
My dear, either way, I need to know.
That waste of money.
So what if she is buying it? What if he is buying the shoes and he is buying whatever he's buying and still being able to provide for you? You still want to know?
Yes, we are going to counseling. Yes,
It's not about.
yes. At that point, I can catch you and we can have a conversation. By the time she's pregnant, has the baby, it's too late.
No, wait.
When you're buying shoes,
It takes
the
one night.
therapist and the counselor is there for us to talk.
No,
But
baby. But
no,
you still.
bruh.
But wait. Before you said you were gonna leave him, but now
If he
you're ready
cheats.
but you're
If
ready
he's
to go
cheating.
to counseling.
No, if he cheats, if he's
So
had
what
sexual
counts as
intimacy with
cheating?
this,
Oh,
if he's
sexual
had
intimacy.
sexual, yeah. If
Wait,
you're buying
only-
shoes,
It's not cheating.
It's not cheating.
it's emotionally cheating, but
And
you haven't.
So that's the worst part.
Bro.
He's emotionally
Yeah,
invested
nah,
in
nah,
your
y'all can say
man.
what y'all want. Y'all can say what y'all want.
All right,
But
listen,
having
listen.
sex with another woman is different than just conversing and like, nah, bro.
I
Listen,
mean,
they
if
can
it
have
hasn't
sex
gotten
and
there
he's
yet,
not
there's still a
emotionally
chance.
connected.
There's still a chance to block it. If you guys have not had sexual intimacy yet, there's still a chance to converse and like fix it.
well,
For
that's
me,
true. I agree.
For
I
me.
agree. I agree.
Once
I
you
look at it
you've
in
had
a
sexual
verse.
intimacy with that, I'm finished. Like,
So
Done.
so if you're
Finito.
married,
mhm.
well, I shouldn't be asking the question.
Thank you.
Come back.
I was waiting for you to
Come
realize that we have a show to run here.
Please come
But
back. Come
anyways,
back.
all right, listen. Let's just switch topics. We'll come back to that. We have plenty of time. Toxic masculinity.
Ha!
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
this
sure
is
you
like
women know
The
how to.
buzzword.
Yeah.
What about toxic feminism? That's
Guys, you
Don't
put
do
the-
that.
you put the- just hold that one back there. Hold that one back there real quick. But anyways, toxic masculinity.
And that's the problem.
What's your guys' take on it?
Well, first of all, we probably want to establish
What is?
what toxic masculinity is first before we have a conversation, because I think a lot of people have a lot of different concepts of what it is and what it means.
Urban Dictionary, where are you?
I'm not urban.
So it says violence, sex, status, aggression. You know, a man who, you know, his manhood is just like up there. you
Yeah,
know,
it's essentially like a very repressive understanding of what manlyhood and manliness looks like, and it essentially like associates all things power, violence, sex, you know, anything that's associated with strength and power is like masculine.
Yep.
And anything that's soft and fragile is feminine, which is very, very toxic because it doesn't allow men and boys to be soft, to express their emotions, to express their feelings without being seen as feminine or gay or you know, whatever else, and that's definitely a big problem in society. So it definitely should be something that's addressed.
Can you give an example of, in addition to your definition?
What toxic masculinity could look like?
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you have a son, only, you know, allowing him to play sports. You know, if he was like, oh, mom, I want to, you know, be a musician, or I want to be crochet, or I want to cook, and it's like, oh no, that's too feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let him express himself how he wants, even though it's, you know, it's something that's associated more so with femininity. Like, you should allow your children to express themselves and your sons to express themselves however they feel fit. So, but that's just a
Maneh, what's your take to this?
I agree in the sense that it puts like a boundary between, I don't know how to say this, but I kind of lost my train of thought. I think society defines men with the, is it macho-ness?
Mm-hmm.
That the word? And it takes away from their ability to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And society sees vulnerability as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the ability to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to
Yes.
know how to be
Lord.
vulnerable, and to know whom and where to be vulnerable
And when.
is a strength.
Yeah.
Sister.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Right.
Nhimba!
What she said.
Was
Oh, what
spot
she
on.
said.
It was
Okay.
spot on.
Alright, this is a very big topic for me, anyways. Let me introduce this, gender roles. I know a lot of you are already itching to say one or two things, but anyways. Do gender roles still exist in 2019? Should we still look at gender roles as the thing? Does it need editing or stopped altogether? What's that take to it?
I don't think. There's a side that says there was a clear-cut distinction between gender roles, and there's a side that says there isn't. I think it's about the individual, or, you know, the person you're with, like what you agree to either cross it or to stay on your own side and I stay on my own side. I think it's about communication.
So it's fluid.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
fluid.
very fluid. For me, gender roles are essentially what you choose to do in the privacy of your home, and that's your business, like, period. That's nobody else's business but you and your partner. However you decide to run your home, whatever hierarchy you decide to have in your home is your personal business, and that's it. Like, it's nobody else's
I
business.
agree.
I thought I would hear something fiery, but
Like what?
Like,
I don't know. I'm just, you know.
It shouldn't be that deep.
like why should a woman watch the man not
If the
cook?
man wants to
You're
cook,
trying to
Pretty
get
much.
that?
You know, stuff like that.
If she wants to pay the bills, let her pay the bills. If it wants to be, you know, the traditional way where he's paying the bills, she's cooking, that's their business. Like, it's not that deep.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I think it just boils down. In fact, she just spoke the truth.
nah, please say what you have in mind.
No, I think it's also, just what governs you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sorry, I always go back to my scriptures. As a woman, we have our, part to play, and as the man, you have your part to play. So, but again, as she said, it all depends on what works for you both. With me, as an individual, I want to play the woman part, if that makes sense. I feel like it's obligatory that a man provides. It is, and I feel like it's obligatory that I cook the food, just because that's what governs me from a spiritual standpoint. Yeah.
You tie it to your spirituality.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
So last episode, with the guys, our good friend Suki, he mentioned I could cook, I go to work, I could clean. What you just said? I mean, he could do all of that. Why does he need?
So that would govern what he's looking for in a woman.
exactly.
So because he can do that, he gets to determine what kind of woman he wants.
Exactly.
So just because he cooks and cleans does not dismiss every other woman who does that. he can want a woman who does the 9 to 5 and he's a stay at home, which I don't think he would.
Obviously.
So it's
Obviously.
whoever you are governs who you would want to be with. And there's this statement that people make: you're looking for somebody to complete you. I say you're looking for someone to complement you.
Correct.
So it's who did that? So yeah, it's whoever you are gets to almost kind of define whoever you're looking for, or whoever you will be compatible with, I guess.
Would any of you ever consider the stay-home mom thing?
No.
Not for me.
And that's the problem. But like that's the thing. Like a lot of women nowadays are working women. So unfortunately, even though guys say, "Oh, I can cook for myself, I can clean for myself," once you get in a relationship, once you get in that partnership, especially I'm speaking more so for West African men, or African men that I know, they say that, but once they get in a relationship with a woman who doesn't cook and doesn't clean, it becomes a problem.
Huge problem.
So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, the women still, especially because nowadays we do work, we still end up doing like 2/3 of the work on top of what we have to do. So
when you talk about relationship, because there are different kinds of relationships, you mean in the aspect of dating or courting?
ooh, child, hopefully you're not doing that while you're dating.
Right?
Yeah,
When you're
because
married.
I want to make sure, because in marriage, I feel, because again, I'm governed by spiritual, whatever
Right,
I
right.
consider,
Uh-huh.
I think it's my obligation to cook for my husband.
Mm-hmm.
In dating, it's because I love you and I know that it's important for you to eat. That's why I'm
Eat,
doing
right,
that.
right, right.
I'm not
Not
obliged
because
to
you're
do that.
obligated to,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Facts.
Wait, so you won't cook for somebody that you're dating?
No, yeah, because I want
You want to? Okay.
But if I'm married, then yeah, it's my obligation to my
Okay.
family.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, definitely. But that's just my personal view. I don't
Yeah,
think that
that's-
should be for everybody. But that's just me
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
Oh, more. Okay. What you got to say?
I don't even know what the question is.
The question. I remember you
You
said,
asked-
would you be a stay-home mom?
Yeah, but I don't think that's what everybody was answering. I would, personally.
Why?
So boring.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. You
It's a
work
lot of
more
work.
being a stay-at-home mom.
They do a lot.
It's a lot of work.
Especially when you have kids. The only reason I'm saying that, and I wouldn't necessarily be a full-time stay-at-home mom. I didn't go to school for no reason. I would be part-time doing like something, but I would want to be in my kids' lives, especially like the beginning of their lives. And then later on I can go back and work. That's no problem. That's if we have the finances.
Exactly.
If we don't have the money, I will go and work.
So finance is the base to this.
Yes,
Okay.
but then I really would like to be able to like do certain things with my kids, and I'm really terrified of leaving my kids with other people,
Yeah.
just because of how evil the world is at the moment.
Yeah.
But if there's money, I definitely would do it. I wouldn't even think about it. Like right now, I would like to do something part-time, or at least maybe if my husband and I like have some kind of arrangement, opposite days, where we can do something, because I really would be so scared of leaving my kids with someone.
Sure, I agree with you.
Especially when they can't talk.
Yeah. You know.
There's something called baby monitors,
Even
Even so.
Yeah.
people are crazy.
Okay, my bad.
You see
Alright.
how like out of touch we are when it comes to this?
Hey, listen, I'll never carry a child, so I'll not understand that mentality. I mean, I'll never, not mentality,
That
but
bond.
that bond, a mother will have with a kid. I would never understand that. But anyways, to wrap this up, I have this very, very interesting question to you, women, you women. Let me put it that way because it's part of that. But anyways, in 2019, women hate when they refer to as female women, or the word bitch, whatever. But anyways, this is my question. You women call yourself that, but then you don't want somebody else too.
It's just like
Let me land, I beg. You don't want a man to call you that. But then when a man does, it comes off two ways.
This is a real question.
Disrespectful or sexy or kinky, whichever one you want to call it. Now you confuse me. You just confuse me in the whole process. Like, okay, no, a certain time you call me this, a certain time you cannot call me this. Why can't we just come up with a set rule that, okay, either we're saying this or we're not saying this. And what's wrong with saying female, anyways?
So you're
a
asking
female?
two different questions.
I mean, I'm using the names.
Or female.
Are we talking about females or are we talking about bitches? 'Cause
Let's start
they're
with
two
female.
different things.
Let's start with female.
Okay. So
What's wrong with a man saying female? As woman.
well, there are a lot of so I know most people have. A lot of people aren't even really inclined to like care, but for those who do, I think it's just because it's more so a term, if I'm not mistaken, that's associated with like species and like animals.
It's a group.
Yeah, it's like
It's
an
not an
adjective,
individual.
and like when you take it away, it doesn't really. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not. Yeah, it doesn't pertain to humans.
Yeah.
It's not something that pertains to the female.
Individuality.
Yeah, individuality and the
Individuality,
female
yeah.
human. So that's why people have a problem with it. But for most, I don't think most women even know it's an issue. For real.
Right, I
But,
don't know it's an issue.
But
Personally
for those
speaking.
who do, that's why.
Yeah.
Now the term bitch is like a completely
Whew.
different
Yeah,
conversation.
no.
Like, would you let a white person call you nigga? Like,
No.
oh, okay. Would you let a white person
No,
call you nigga?
no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's
That
the
is the same
reason.
thing.
That's what
Yeah.
But
we're
you
Yeah,
call
like-
you call your boys or your
It's
yeah.
Entirely.
I
That's
don't
a
even
female
call
dog.
myself that. Exactly. I don't. So why should you call me that?
So a woman would say, yo, my nigga. That's cool. But then I cannot say, use the B word.
Oh my
I
god.
cannot
Are
say
you
that.
comparing nigga to bitch?
That's
I mean, I'm just speaking.
It's the
to
same.
you.
No, and also
explain it.
yeah, and it also depends on what context. Like if it's a woman calling her girlfriend that, and they're used to calling each other that, and they have that relationship, and they understand that it's not in a derogatory way,
Correct.
that's their business. The same way you and your boy calling each other, what's up, my nigga? Like it's not anything derogatory because you guys understand each other in that way. You understand each other's blackness. Like it's not anything derogatory. But if a white boy came up to you and was like, yo, what's up, my
Not
nigga?
dropping him. Like,
We have a problem.
So sorry.
We don't have that relationship. You can't talk to me
I
like
just
that.
don't like that word.
So can
I will
you?
not
What's
call
on bitch?
myself that.
Yeah, to each his
teach
own.
his own.
So,
Yeah, but
don't
I mean,
Don't
my
call
friends
me
don't
a
call each
bitch.
other that, but
I don't
I mean, I don't see if you guys have that relationship, it's not my business.
So
yeah.
can your significant other to his boys or your friends or his friends or whoever, can he call you his?
No.
No.
Don't talk to them.
Because
Oh yeah, my
I know
bitch
your
cooking.
bitch.
What?
Are you crazy?
Have you
No.
lost your mind?
Huh. Whoa.
My woman. What happened to
There's,
that?
yeah,
My
there's
girl.
There's so many other names.
Matter of
Why?
fact, Ma is cooking. If it's so hard. But don't.
Sing the bitch song.
I don't see
Which
It's
bitch
a
song?
Which one?
I mean, I don't really listen
Whatever.
to
What's a bitch?
all
What's
this
a bitch?
rapping.
Me
but-
too. Like.
All this rapping.
Yeah, if I can't hear the words, I'm not gonna listen to it.
So
I
y'all,
mean, I love
so
the
y'all not
beat
singing the City
sometimes.
Girls national anthem?
I don't even know
What
that is.
happened?
Wait, what's wrong with the City Girls
Y'all
national
not
anthem?
singing
What's-
the
what's
City
wrong with
Girls
City
national
Girls?
anthem?
Which one is
What
that?
was that?
The Cardi B song?
What's that
The
song?
twerk song?
What's the song?
It's the twerk song.
Never give a fuck about a nigga.
Oh, no, I don't know that
Some.
one.
I don't even know this
I
song.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the words like that, but it's like the twerk. It's like the twerk song by Cardi B.
No, that twerk one I don't know.
You guys should leave that song forever here. We're not sponsoring those songs, so anyways.
Facts.
Yeah, I don't know the lyrics to that song.
Closing remarks. Anybody? Closing remarks? Anybody?
Shout out to Suki.
Yeah, I really want to meet him. He's a great person.
What about his?
But you know what? Hold on. Time out. Right? Just real quick. I just want to, hear what you got to say. You guys watched the first Couch Talk. I hope you enjoyed it because I did. What are your takes to it, real quick?
I mean, I like the fact that he was honest. That's
Yeah,
his
he was.
experience. That's
He
his
was.
reality. So I will not fault him for it. So that any girl who's going there should know this is who he is. So,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that kind of a person. You're telling me who you are. So when I get there, I'm not expecting anything different. I just don't like the people who say Jesus. I mean, I'm just saying, like I present to you, I'm this kind of a person, and then you're a whole different person. I hate that. I feel like that's no form of integrity or truthfulness in you. So I love Suki. He's real. DJ Bat. He was really.
he was so mellow.
Reserved.
I was like,
so
talk to
careful,
me.
so very. He was.
So
I
guarded.
love. Yeah, he was very
He was,
careful.
He was kind of
He was
politically
guarded.
correct.
I've had a conversation with
Yeah,
him.
he was so careful. I love Bertrand's point of view.
Yeah.
Aziz was his countenance. I don't understand. Is that how Jesus was?
He was so. He made Christianity so boring. Like that's not how Christians are, y'all.
I mean, I love him. I mean, I fell in love with
I was just
everything
like-
about him, but you know.
I feel like a struggle for him to talk here, so you know, like that's not what my focus is. I'm like, bruh.
Is he always that soft-spoken?
Yeah.
Charles was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Charles was great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just hyping up because he here.
No,
But,
regardless.
I mean,
I'm been a great
Nhimba.
guy.
I just think it was different personalities, different people brought different realities to the table. It was interesting. It was interesting to see how different guys think, and just to know there's not a particular consensus. People like different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the conversation on toxic masculinity was interesting amongst the men.
Toxic what?
Masculinity.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shade.
Somebody can say it, but yeah, no, I thought that was interesting because nobody thought that they participated in the culture of toxic masculinity. Like everybody was kind of like, "Oh, that's not me," but I heard a lot of things that were said that were definitely very toxic.
Yeah.
But again, it was interesting to see everybody's point of view. for
Maybe they
sure.
didn't understand what it meant. Maybe.
But
I think that was part
I
of
think
it.
that they don't
Or
understand
maybe because
exactly.
we are looking at it from a female perspective and they are looking at it from a male perspective, so they're kind of guarded. They're like, okay, no, I don't do
Do you
that.
think culture plays a role in that?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah,
Oh, what?
most definitely.
I appreciate you guys for taking, time out of your busy schedule to do this. I know most of you would have been somewhere else right now making some coins, but let's do this again. It was fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Maneh, Nancy, Mah, Ebot, and Nhimba. Oh, by the way, we're not all Cameroonians. We have a Gambian in the house.
Who's from Gambia?
I mean, Zambia.
That's what I look like.
My bad, yo. My bad. But anyways, hey, I'm your host, Uncle AK, and we are out.